Look, I know we don't want to talk about this, but a lot of y'all helped these people hide. So we're going to talk about, those people with the crosses and the color me in flag. And we told you that that stood for something, that that meant something. Because face it, those fill me in, blue line, red line, fill in the color line flags wouldn't exist without what? What happened for those flags to come around? See, you're driving around worried about who has a stinky sticker on their car. You're not looking at who has the color me in flags on their car and on their license plate. Those are them. You didn't listen to us. You didn't listen to us. What do you mean those are them? Do you have proof? All I see is blue lines and red lines and crosses. They're just patriotic. They just have faith. That is part of how we got here. Those friends you didn't want to cut off because politics or faith. That person you let run their mouth because they're just from a different time. You helped them hide. Look, I live in a town where parents of this nature have invited me to events where they have friends who are active members of some of those clubs where they don't like to see people like me breathe. And they expect us to stand in the same room with those people looking at me like they want to do something and the host going, "What's the problem?" So what if they believe you're less than human and you should be owned? They're my friends. Can't you be cool? I live around people that will absolutely wave to me as I pull out of my driveway while they call me slurs under their breath in front of all their color me in flags and crosses. See, as long as they aren't waving the Confederate flag, as long as they aren't putting on the hood in public, as long as they aren't waving that special little symbol, the one that showed up in a legislator's office and he doesn't know how it got there, call the police. As long as they're not making it that obvious, a bunch of people run in to cover for them. We told you. None of those flags existed until we had a movement, and now suddenly they have a whole range of color flags just to show how much they don't care about any life but their own. And when we call it out, you run in and defend them and call it patriotism. You're looking for the wrong stickers on the cars. You're looking for the wrong signs. You're waiting for the ones who stop their car in the middle of the street and get out of the sunroof to throw the finger, instead of looking at that house that's covered in flags and crosses and realizing that that's them. I know you're confused because they smiled at a brown person yesterday, so they can't be like that. If your thought process is they can't be like that because they're nice, they smiled and they waved at a black person, you're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. You need to listen to the canaries, okay? Y'all need to be looking for all the stickers, not just the stinky ones.